Yeah, so I think states sometimes find that they need certain information before they can start ECID's implementation, and it can be for different reasons, right? And so one big reason is just knowing what you're even going to do with an ECIDs and building the political support that you might need. And so a type of assistance that 3SI supports sometimes is to states is engagement with stakeholders to sort of develop use cases, establish what those, what the compelling value is going to be of the ECIDs. And sometimes that's a necessary precursor, even just to secure political sort of capital funding, and so that's a big piece for some states. They might also want to know, do they have the right systems to support an ECIDs? And so that can include sort of technical infrastructure. Could also include data systems and data elements within those systems. Do they have they collected enough data to support an ECIDs? And we do data inventories to sort of identify what the gaps might be. We also look at their sort of technical systems, and we do an assessment, and we develop an understanding of, where they are in the spectrum of, readiness to implement ECIDs, and we'll sort of identify what additional steps would be needed. In the case of, cloud architecture, we might recommend specific elements for them to add into their tech stack. In the case of data elements, we might say, look, you have these gaps in data, and these are other data sources you might want to consider. Or these are the systems that you would want to prioritize to include in your ECIDs. Human capacity can also be important, and so that could involve IT capacity, research, and analytics capacity to make use of an ECIDs. And so all of that capacity is really important, not only to make sure that the ECIDs is sort of sustained, but also that it is used and found useful by the state. So we'll provide some assistance in assessing that capacity and identifying opportunities for development, enhancement of that capacity, et cetera. Some states also struggle with data governance, and certainly something like an ECIDs is going to require often cooperation across agencies or departments. And so data governance can come into play, in 3SI support states and identifying frameworks that will be successful, and if necessary, helping to draft even some of the legal agreements necessary to support those frameworks. And then lastly, there's a level of strategic planning and advice and thought partnership, which is hard to encapsulate and define, but we all know it when we see it, that sometimes states they need to know that someone else has done this before and can be available to help sort of not just answer questions, but even ask the right questions and at the right time. And so 3SI has been along for that ride with many states now, and can help to be those thought partners as needed.